Peppa Pig's house always seemed safe, warm and cozy. But today something changed in the familiar atmosphere of childhood happiness. Peppa wakes up in her room, but the sun shines strangely dim. The morning feels too quiet and empty. George sits in the corner with Mr. Dinosaur, not playing. His eyes stare into nothingness, seeing something terrible. Mummy Pig cooks breakfast mechanically. She repeats the same actions over and over again. Daddy Pig reads blank newspaper pages. He turns empty white sheets pretending to read news. Peppa goes downstairs and notices a strange toy on the table. A dark blue furry creature with creepy smile and glowing eyes. Labubu turns his head toward Peppa without moving his body. His smile widens, eyes pulsing with blue light. Suddenly, everything freezes. Mummy stops with spoon in hand. Daddy stops breathing. George becomes a statue. Labubu stands and slowly approaches Peppa. His paws don't touch the floor, floating through air. Peppa tries to run, but doors disappear. Room walls stretch, turning the house into endless corridor. Labubu's voice echoes from everywhere at once. He speaks in a language Peppa doesn't understand. Peppa runs down the corridor that never ends. Behind her, Labubu's soft steps approach relentlessly. Suddenly, Peppa finds herself back in her room. The sun shines dimly, morning quiet and empty. George sits in same corner with same horrified expression. Mummy cooks same breakfast mechanically. Peppa realizes she's trapped in time loop. Every day repeats exactly, she cannot escape. Labubu appears on table again, now bigger. His smile wider, eyes burning brighter. Susie Sheep visits with empty face. She says same words as yesterday and before. Pedro Pony plays in garden. Laughter like creaking swings. He swings endlessly back and forth. Madame Gazelle reads same story. Her voice quiets until becoming whisper. Grandpa Pig grows only black withered plants. He smiles, not noticing death around. Granny Pig bakes cake while black smoke pours from oven. She continues cooking normally. Labubu grows with each loop day. Now Peppa sighs, following her everywhere. Peppa tries telling family about Loop, but they cannot hear. Their ears plugged with invisible wax. Rebecca Rabbit's carrot rots in her hands. She continues eating, not noticing worms. Candy Cat meows like crying baby. Her eyes completely black without pupils. Labubu speaks in Peppa's voice, mocking her words. He knows all her thoughts. Time accelerates. Days flash in seconds. Peppa ages while others stay sane. Labubu grows bigger than house, shadow covering street. He laughs with all friends' voices. At Loop's end, Peppa understands terrible truth. She summoned Labubu with childhood fears. Loop closes completely. Peppa becomes part of Labubu's collection, repeating same actions. New day begins, another child comes to play. Same dark toy waits on table. Labubu smiles at new victim. In his eyes reflect silhouettes of trapped children. Loop begins again. Peppa Pig's house always seemed safe, warm and cozy. But none suspected what dark secrets hid in the nearby forest. Peppa looks out the window at the dark forest. Something strange flickers between the trees. Mummy Pig calls everyone for breakfast, but Peppa cannot look away from the mysterious forest. George plays with his dinosaur in the living room. The toy suddenly turns by itself. Daddy Pig reads the newspaper at the table. Pages start rustling without wind. Peppa quietly leaves the house through the door. The dark forest beckons with mysterious paths. Susie Sheep comes to visit and rings the doorbell. No one answers. Peppa is gone. A strange black shadow appears between the trees. It moves unnaturally fast through the forest. Peppa walks deeper into the dark forest. Birds suddenly fall silent. It becomes very quiet. Labubu peeks from behind a big old tree. His glowing blue eyes stare intently at Peppa. Peppa turns back, but the path home has vanished. She is lost in the dense forest. Labubu slowly approaches the frightened Peppa. His terrifying smile becomes wider and more frightening. Mummy and Daddy Pig desperately search for Peppa. They call her name, but hear only echo. Grandpa Pig hurries to help in the search. He looks very worried and concerned. Rebecca Rabbit and Pedro Pony join the search. All friends are very worried about Peppa. The forest grows darker and gloomier. Labubu surrounds Peppa from all sides, not letting her escape. The family finds only Peppa's pink dress on a branch. It hangs on the old tree like an ominous sign. Dr. Bear carefully examines the found dress. There are no traces or clues of disappearance on it. Strange sounds are heard in the empty house at night. Someone laughs quietly and eerily in the room. George wakes from a nightmare and sees a silhouette in the window. It's definitely not his sister, Peppa. A mysterious note appears on the kitchen table in the morning. Written in childish handwriting, "I'm playing with a new friend." Mummy Pig cries bitterly, reading the scary note. Daddy Pig hugs his wife tightly for comfort. Children's laughter and voices are heard in the forest depths, but it's not the missing Peppa's laughter at all. Labubu stands menacingly at the edge of the dark forest. George's toy dinosaur is in his furry paws as a trophy. The family never saw their beloved Peppa again, but sometimes at night they hear her voice calling from the forest depths. Peppa's house always seemed like a safe place, warm and cozy. But no one suspected what secrets were hidden in the basement. Peppa plays in her room with toys. Scratching sounds come from under the bed. Something moves in the darkness. Coral Labubu, with burning orange eyes, crawls out from the shadows, fur covered with growths, wide smile showing teeth. Peppa freezes in horror. Coral growths glow with sinister light. The air fills with humming and strange whispers. Labubu reaches out to Peppa. Her eyes change color. Orange glow appears in her pupils, spreading like infection. George enters the room and sees his sister motionless. Peppa turns with empty stare, no longer herself. Coral Labubu hides behind curtain, watching the puppet. Peppa approaches her brother mechanically, like robot. George tries to run away, but Peppa grabs his hand. The touch burns. Sparks transfer to skin like electricity. Mummy Pig comes upstairs to call children for dinner, finds them with empty glowing eyes standing still. Coral Labubu emerges from hiding and looks at Mummy. Growths pulse brighter, radiating hypnotic glow. Family members fall under control one by one. Daddy Pig comes home and finds everyone with glowing eyes. Coral growths appear on captured skin. They spread, turning living beings into collective mind under Labubu's power. Neighbors notice orange glow from windows. Coming closer, they also fall under Labubu's influence immediately. Miss Rabbit, Pedro Pony, and Susie come to visit. See friends with glowing eyes and coral growths. Coral Labubu appears before victims. Smile becomes wider, showing teeth, eyes burning with triumph. Village residents fall under control. Orange glow spreads through settlement like epidemic, unstoppable. Coral growths cover houses, trees, roads. Village transforms into single organism under Labubu's command. Coral Labubu sits on throne of corals. Residents stand around with empty eyes, serving master. Growths connect everyone into network. Thoughts merge into collective mind under ruler's absolute power. Orange glow visible from space. Planet becomes covered with growths. Humanity no longer exists as individuals. Coral Labubu achieved goal. World became single organism where every being is just cell. In New World, there is no individuality, only orange glow and coral growths connecting all. Madame Gazelle's school was always a place of joy and laughter. Today, the children stayed for a special sleepover night in classroom. Peppa, Susie, Pedro, and Candy laid out their colorful sleeping bags carefully. The old wooden cupboard creaked ominously in the cold wind. Madame Gazelle went home after dinner time finished. The children remained alone in the dark, empty school building. Susie heard strange, mysterious sounds from the cupboard. The heavy door slowly opened by itself with creaking noise. Glowing indigo eyes appeared from the dark crack. They twinkled like distant stars in the night sky above. Pedro approached the old cupboard much closer. The door suddenly swung open with loud, frightening creak sound. A fluffy Labubu emerged from the darkness slowly. His indigo fur shimmered with magical starlight glow beautifully. Labubu smiled with his mysterious, enchanting smile. His hypnotic eyes mesmerized and captivated their innocent gaze completely. He began humming a quiet, haunting lullaby. The eerie sounds echoed through empty school corridors eerily. Candy felt overwhelming drowsiness from the song. Her eyelids became heavy and completely uncontrollable gradually. The children fell asleep one by one peacefully. Labubu approached each sleeping child with gentle care and attention. He gently touched their foreheads with soft paws. His touch left glowing indigo marks on their innocent skin. Peppa suddenly woke up from the cold air. All her friends slept in deep, peaceful slumber around her. She saw Labubu standing by the window. He gazed at the starry sky above the city below. Labubu slowly turned to look at Peppa. His mystical eyes glowed much brighter than usual tonight. He extended his paw invitingly toward her. Peppa felt strange magnetic attraction to the mysterious creature. Labubu led her to the large window. The glass revealed a beautiful view of the city below them. The window began glowing with bright indigo light. The glass became like a magical portal entrance mysteriously. Labubu stepped into the glowing window portal. Peppa followed him without any fear or hesitation bravely. Morning came and Gazelle found empty bags. The children had vanished without leaving any trace behind them. Only small handprints remained on window glass. They glowed with faint indigo light in the darkness. Labubu watched from the starry sky above. The children became part of his stellar collection forever now.